Good evening. Welcome to the February 19th Clifton Park Town Board meeting. I'll ask the ladies and gentlemen from the VFW to please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. All right, Pat, if you would call the roll.
Councilman Whalen. Here. Councilman Standard. Here. Councilman Romano.
Here.
Councilman Walloway. Supervisor Barrett.
Here, entertain a motion to approve Town Board meeting minutes of February 4th.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Romano, second by Ms. Walloway. Discussion. Hey, Pat.
Councilman Whalen.
Yes.
Councilman Standard. Yes. Councilman Romano.
Yes.
Councilman Walloway. Yes. Supervisor Barrett.
Yes. Communications and announcements. Any takers this evening? No? Okay. We were hoping to have the Ravenswood restaurant here with us this evening. As we announced recently, they won the soup contest at Winterfest, but they were a little short-handed this week, couldn't spare somebody, so maybe we'll get them in a couple of weeks. But or maybe we'll go there and present the flag. Why take up their time coming to a little old town board meeting? So, but either way, we do want to congratulate them again and look forward to doing so publicly. We have we have a recognition and also a presentation this evening, so we'll get right to it. We have a resolution in honor of our local VFW Post 1498, and it pertains to a program that the VFW initiated that has gained national attention and is truly an inspiring story. So, Pat, if you would read that resolution, please.
This is resolution number 48 of 2019. Resolution recognizing VFW Post 1498 for its work collecting and donating clothing for veterans. Whereas the mission of the Veterans of Foreign Wars is to foster camaraderie among United States veterans of overseas conflicts, to serve our veterans, the military, and our communities, and to advocate on behalf of all veterans. And whereas Veterans of Foreign Wars Clifton Park Memorial Post 1498 lives this mission every day. And whereas the members of Veterans of Foreign Wars Post 1498 wish to make an impact by assisting local homeless veterans in the capital region through the Stratton VA Medical Center. And whereas Veterans of Foreign Wars Post 1498 partnered with national clothing retailer Hay-Band Company to provide free clothing of all types to veterans. And whereas Veterans of Foreign War Post 1498 began raising money to purchase clothing from Hay-Band, and in turn Hay-Band donated pallets of clothing worth thousands of dollars. And whereas in October of 2018, Veterans of Foreign Wars Post 1498 and Hay-Band made their fourth delivery to Stratton VA Medical Center of 648 clothing items, from coats to parkas to sweaters and flannel shirts, totaling in value more than $25,000. And whereas as a result of the efforts of Veterans of Foreign Wars Post 1498, every veteran in need at Stratton VA Medical Center received a brand new winter coat. And whereas during the past 5 years, Veterans of Foreign Wars Post 1498 has donated $71,000 in monetary donations to the Stratton VA Medical Center. And whereas Veterans of Foreign Wars Post 1498 has been recognized by the National Veterans of Foreign Wars Organization for their selflessness in living the mission of the Veterans of Foreign Wars, now therefore be resolved that the Town Board thanks and honors all members of the Veterans of Foreign Wars of Clifton Park Memorial Post 1498 for their advocacy and service on behalf of our veterans. We are proud to have you as members of our community.
Fantastic. I move that we approve the resolution with a second by the board with their approval. Pat?
Councilman Whalen.
Yes.
Councilman Standard. Yes. Councilman Romano.
Yes.
Councilman Walloway. Yes. Supervisor Barrett.
Yes. And we're very proud to host many members, ladies and gentlemen of the VFW. Commander David Brinkmuller is here. David, if you could come up to the podium, please. And I want to commend, on behalf of the town of Clifton Park, you and everybody from the Post that's involved in this incredible project. If you could give us an idea of how the project started and where it is today and what you see occurring in the future, helping vets, homeless vets in this instance. It's incredibly important, something that we should all strive to do.
My name is Dave Brinkle. I'm the post commander, and I brought with me a number of the members of the post as well as members of the Ladies Auxiliary. Correction on that, it's auxiliary now. And it's not only the Veterans of Foreign Wars, but the Ladies Auxiliary also has a project that they contribute to help the veterans over at the VA hospital.
Mm-hmm.
The project started about 5 years ago when I was up at the Voluntary Services dropping off some items, and I became aware that veterans are not given clothing by the VA hospital. Some veterans come in off the street, some veterans are brought in by ambulance, some are taken out with their pajamas on, and they're not giving any clothing to go home in. And at the time I was there was a veteran that was up there, and he needed a jacket, and they had nothing to give him. That's when I became aware of the desperate need of clothing that exists in the VA hospital. When I went back to the post, we decided that we would take advantage of the money that we have. My wife got in touch with her cousin, who was at that time president of Hay-Band. We told him what we were looking to do, and he very graciously decided to assist us with the project. Over the years, we've been able to, every year, we've gotten at least 700 items and 4 pallets worth of clothing. Over 700 items each year that's been delivered to the VA. It's a kind of a proud moment for all of us at the VA, VFW, when we go up there and know that we're helping not only homeless veterans, but veterans that are in need of clothing. And they graciously give out all that they have. We bring up winter coats, we bring up heavy shirts, pants, socks, flannel shirts, fleece shirts, sweatshirts. So we know that these veterans are being taken care of. Just this week I was up, I collected 2 bags of clothing from Tractor Supply here in Clifton Park and brought up hats and gloves up to the VA hospital. So this is an ongoing project. We just don't deal only with the Hay-Band issue, but Hay-Band is the largest contributor, and so far, according to the VA hospital and Hay-Band, we've delivered over $71,000 worth of clothing to the VA. And this is the money that we collect from our poppy drives that we do in Walmarts and Fred the Butcher and around the community. So I think it's really a great project that we're working on, and I'm glad to see that the town of Clifton Park is behind it.
Well, thank you, Dave, and thank you for bringing this to our attention recently. If you want to read more about it, you can go to the VFW National webpage, and the magazine's right there. You can scroll right through the magazine electronically. They do a great job with the webpage, and was able to learn more about the project. What an incredible corporate partner you have in Hay-Band, but as you mentioned, you're also accepting donations, and that's something we'd like to start here at the town of Clifton Park. You know, in the past, we continue each year, we do accept donations for veterans groups, whether it's Books for Troops or Adopt a Soldier, and we'd like to do the same here. We also do some projects at the Clifton Park Senior Community Center, service projects to send our troops a little taste of home during the year as well. But we'd like to collect donations either here at Town Hall or at the center, which is just behind us on the Common. So if you could just tell me exactly, if you could send me exactly what you're looking for.
Certainly.
And we will list those items on the website and list them here with a donation box. And I know a lot of times with donations with these organizations, the needs change from time to time. So if they did change, where there was specific item or two or three that were particularly needed during a given period of time, to please update me on that as well.
Just another word. Over the last 3 years, our post has also been supplying troops that have been deployed to Afghanistan from the 10th Mountain Division. As a matter of fact, a couple of years ago, we had the flag signed by all the unit. The town of Clifton Park flag was signed and brought in.
Yeah, it's in our hallway.
So our post is very tuned into veterans, and anything we could do, I would be glad to accept any donations that you
Great.
would have. Thank you very much.
If Dave, I know you're always looking for new members, so if somebody wanted to join the VFW locally, how would they do that?
They can get in touch with me. You have my number.
Yeah.
They can stop down at the post. We have a meeting, the second and fourth meeting of every, second and fourth Monday of every month at 7 o'clock. They're more than welcome to come in.
And that's on Route 9. What's the number? What's the number on Route 9? 1605 Route 9.
I just know by the post.
Yeah, you still have the post, the
We
old...
have the red flag for donation of flags out.
Right. And I had somebody contact me recently and ask me, you know, they had old American flags that were tattered or worn, and they wanted to dispose of them properly. And you've had a box out at the end of the driveway for, gosh, many years now.
Yes.
I'd say probably, 14 years? Where you can...
Long before I came up here.
Yeah, where you, if you have, flags are supposed to be disposed of properly, and they will do, the VFW will do that for you. So I was able to send him over, and I know he took advantage of that service that you offer, so thank you.
We take that, by the way, we take those flags up to the National Cemetery and they take care of them, dispose of them properly.
Yep.
Thank you very much, Phil.
Thank you, Dave. Thank you, everybody. We're very proud of what you're doing, not only with this project that, like I said, gained national attention in VFW circles, but with everything you're doing day to day to support our community. And thank you for your service. God bless all of you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And I'll officially present you with this, Dave. And this is the resolution that we just passed. So just wanted to present that to you, and hopefully you'll hang it proudly in the VFW hall. Thanks again. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Phil.
God bless you. You know, the thought of a veteran already going through a difficult time and needing health care, leaving the house in a hurry, and then being left out in the cold, literally, without the proper attire. And now that doesn't happen anymore in Albany because of you. So, thank you. All right, and again, if anybody wants to read up on the story, the VFW National webpage, okay? And you can find it all there. Next, we have a presentation by Mazana Minur. She is Clinical Outreach Coordinator for the American Addiction Centers. And this is a very important topic that's near and dear to all of us. And she's here to talk about the great work that they do. So, welcome.
Thank you.
How are you tonight?
I'm well, thank you.
Good.
Hello, everyone. My name is Mizana Munir, and I'm with the American Addiction Center. I've lived in Clifton Park for approximately 20 years, and I've worked in the area for approximately 15. So I've seen many changes occur in this community. One of the reasons that I'm presenting this evening is because I was invited to present at a Friends of Recovery meeting in Albany. And excuse me. And after I presented, a couple came up to me and they said they wish they knew of this program prior to their children, their daughter and son, being admitted to a facility. Our program is different because we manage the private insurance and the self-paying client. Many of you may know, I don't know if you've experienced it, but the private insurance client, they are not offered extended treatments in our programs. What they're offered is approximately 7 to 10 days. That is not enough time for anyone to recover from addiction. So the American Addiction Center, what they have done is they have the population that we service are the private insurance and the self-paying client. I am salaried. I am not commission based, so it is not about numbers for me. I'm here to present because I want you to know that you have someone in your community that you can contact and I can get you into treatment if you are private insurance, if you have a private insurance or you're self-paid. Of the American Addiction Center, we have 10 facilities across the country. Our closest one, however, right now is in New Jersey. We have programs for the veteran, we have first responders programs, and we have programs for young adults. The program offers many different treatments for individuals. So if it is that you are an individual with dually diagnosed, we are able to manage that by bringing you into treatment, offering you DNA testing, stabilizing your metabolism so that your medication works correctly for your body. And since it's DNA testing, it's a part of your discharge planning. So you take it with you when you leave. If your insurance is saying no to that, they will not pay for it, we will cover the cost. We offer you also rehabilitation from that offers a 90-day promise. This 90-day promise says that anyone comes into our program, completes 90 days of treatment, and it doesn't have to be detox, rehab, and then residential. It could be a residential for 90 days. It could be the full detox rehab program, and you relapse. What we will do is we will give you 30 days of free treatment. What we cannot do is pay for your transportation. We cannot pay for your transportation because it's against the law. What we will do is, however, if it is that you are a private insurance and you would like to come into our facility, we will offer you a promissory note. This promissory note will ask that you sign and make arrangements, be it once a month, every pay period, what have you, to reimburse us for your travel expense. So we try to make it very comfortable for the individual that's coming into treatment. We can manage clients that are on Vivitrol, or we can manage clients that are on Suboxone if it's a doctor to doctor. However, if you are or your loved one is on a methadone maintenance program, we will not be able to maintain you. But what we can do, if you are on 120 milligrams of methadone, we will bring you in and we will detox you, knowing that this is not a quick detox. This is something that may take that 90 days. So you will be with us, or your loved one will be with us for that period of time. The American Addiction Center, to get into the program, is very simple. All you have to do is to contact me. I have left these brochures right on the desk. It has the locations on the back where we're located, and it has my business card. All you have to do is to contact me. I will ask you 7 demographic questions to include your insurance, group number and ID. Once I receive the group number and ID, I will send it into our inside team. They will contact your insurance. You will complete an intake over the phone, and within 90 minutes or less, someone will call you back and we can get you into treatment that same day, the next day, or within the week. So gone are the waiting 2 weeks to get into treatment. I have seen the devastation that addiction has done in our communities, and I'm here to offer those individuals that have that private insurance, that's having problems getting into treatment for extended stays. I'm here to offer you an alternative. You can come, you can call me, and I will be able to assist you getting into treatment. If you have any questions, please feel free to give me a call. The last thing I want to say is that we have lending options as well. That is quite comfortable for the individual coming in. If you, for instance, if you have a managed Medicaid, because we do not take the managed Medicaid, but if you have a managed Medicaid and a family member is saying that they will help you to get into treatment, give me a call. We have very comfortable lending options that you can use. Our facilities are beautiful. We believe that all an individual needs, along with the treatment, is believable hope. That once we can instill that within an individual, along with the treatment, that they will be able to become the best human being they can be. The disease of addiction is taking our community by numbers, and we have to be able to do something to put a stop on it. So I'm here this evening to let you know to give me a call. Take a pamphlet, give me a call, and I'll be able to explain the options. If you need help getting into treatment, I'll be able to do that for you. And also, I am your advocate. So again, my name is Mizan Munir with the American Addiction Center. Please use my number and use my name. Thank you very much.
Mizan? Yes, please. Nicely done. Do you have that information electronically that you can send us?
Yes.
Oh, good.
It is on my card. If you see, it'll have my web information.
Oh, okay, good.
And it'll give you all of the program information, the sites, what sites, some of the sites are holistically based.
Mm-hmm.
So it is very informative. So on the card itself,
Great.
we'll have all of that information for you.
Great, because we can put that on our website. And,
Beautiful.
I'd like
Thank
to do
you.
that.
I appreciate that.
What are you seeing as far as the trends?
Well,
it doesn't seem they're very good, right?
No, it isn't, and the reason that I'm here this evening is because the private insurance, that community of people, they're falling in between the cracks.
Mm-hmm.
They are only being offered 7 to 10 days of treatment, and that's it. I was just speaking with Judge Maney in Albany, and he said it's the most troubling population to get into treatment because they're in and they're out in such a quick turnaround, and be it DWI, he feels as though his hands are being tied. The only thing is to lock the individual up, and we all know that is not rehabilitation.
No.
So the community is suffering because we have working individuals that are unable to get treatment, and that is not a good thing.
And there is no community that's immune.
Correct.
That's for sure. Right?
Correct. One of the options that they're saying, once you call in, because I work with a local addiction center, and one of the options that they were saying is quit your job, go on Medicaid, and then you'll be able to have a 28 to 30-day program. That is not an option.
No.
That is not an option.
Definitely.
So, please, use my card, take 2, take 3, give to your friends, your neighbors, anyone who needs support.
Well, we have a lot of students here this evening. Do you have a message for them?
Well, my message to you is, I know that you are at the age of experimenting, and I'm going to say to you, I know that you think that it's harmless, but it's not. We are right now in between making marijuana legal. Those of you who know that you have a problem, reach out to someone. Reach out to someone. If you notice that you do self-assessment. If you notice that you're drinking too much, you cannot get up and go to class, you need to reach out. And if you reach out to me, it's confidential. My husband is a professor at Siena College. So I know the struggle, the pressure in classes, the pressure for exams. I understand that. But there are better ways to relieve stress. And so I'm asking you to not use substances.
And it's you know, you talk about the legalization of marijuana. Marijuana is addictive. It is a gateway
Yes, it
drug,
is.
right?
Most definitely.
Yes,
It
thank
is.
you.
It is.
Despite the propaganda that you might hear.
It is. So, and I know at your age, you're pretty much focused on using marijuana and not really paying that attention. But I'm just saying, give yourself a little bit of a, give yourself some time. Get out of school, start your career, and you'll be able to make healthy choices. I don't want to preach to you. I know you hear it all the time. So, but use my information. Call me. Okay?
And more importantly, too, is to wait for more research to be done. I talked to, just today, I talked to a retired New York State trooper for a lengthy period of time, getting some background on this topic. And she made a very good point. You know, wait for the research. We've had decades of research as to what alcohol does to the body, how alcohol impairs drivers. There is really very little research as far and little or no detection for THC and marijuana usage. And what needs to occur is we need many drug identifiers. The official term is DRE, that's the acronym. And these are very well-trained people in law enforcement that are able to identify if somebody is high while they're driving. And it can be tricky and difficult because we don't have the testing like we have for alcohol. But the cost, if you look at other states that have legalized marijuana, the societal issues that have come with that legalization, the cost of addiction services, mental health services have risen substantially, accidents, marijuana is directly linked to paranoia and violence and other mental health issues. It's not people just getting high, sitting on the beanbag having Doritos all night, you know, sleeping half the day. I know that's what everybody visualizes with marijuana users. Not the case. Because what it does is it exacerbates mental health issues. So you don't have to listen to me, and like she said, we're not going to preach to you. Just look at the facts. That's all you have to do. Do a little research. That little computer you have in your pocket, you can find all kinds of information. It's all right there. So, so you have the cost of all of those societal issues, mental health and addictive services. All of that rises tremendously. But then you have the ultimate cost, which is the human cost. And the lives that are ended or affected negatively. The families that are affected negatively. Again, you don't need to listen to us. You can do your own research, and states that have legalized marijuana have seen these effects. on a much bigger scale than what they had before legalization. So it's a sad state of affairs. You know, the whole notion that, kind of like casinos, you know, the whole notion that legalizing pot and gambling is somehow going to be a windfall for states. That hasn't been the case, especially when you end up spending more money on all of those services and societal issues that I mentioned before. So it is a troubling situation, and I appreciate you being here and you know, putting an expert behind that message instead of just a town supervisor who deals with these societal issues every day. So we see it very starkly here, whether it's Clifton Park or any other community, no matter the size, no matter the demographic. So thank you.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome. Thank you.
I didn't realize your husband was a professor at Siena. Did you have a Barrett kid over the last 5 years?
Quite a few of them.
Oh, you did, yeah? This one in particular, he's kind of a pain. Semi-smart, soccer player.
When did he go?
He's in his 5th year getting his master's now.
Oh,
So,
okay.
yeah.
Probably so.
Yeah, accounting major, so.
Siena, you know, although it has the appearance of being a big school, it's really
Yeah.
a small school.
Yeah.
So we come in contact with the majority of students.
Well, thank you for being here. I appreciate it.
Our pleasure.
Thank you. And we'll get this information on the website.
Thank you very much.
Very good. Okay, we have several resolutions. Pat, if you would read those resolutions, and we'll consider each one individually.
A resolution awarding a Print Alliance 1.0 agreement for fulfillment of printer toner cartridges by National Business Technologies. Whereas the town board wishes to consolidate purchasing for printer toner cartridges and services across all departments for all brands and manufacturers currently in use. And whereas quotes were received from printer supply fulfillment vendors for comprehensive purchasing of the town's printer toner cartridges at the lowest cost, and including additional services of repair and maintenance to applicable printers indicated on Schedule A. And whereas the lowest conforming quote for the comprehensive purchasing of the town's printer toner cartridges and receiving additional services of repair and maintenance to applicable printers, estimating an annual proposed expenditure of $4,251.91, with an expense reduction of $4,500 from the previous fiscal year, was awarded to National Business Technologies, Bradford Street, Albany. Now therefore be resolved that the town board hereby awards the contract to National Business Technologies at an estimated annual cost of $4,251.91 for a 1-year commitment to be charged to Town Hall office supplies, and be further resolved that the agreement may be extended upon mutual consent in writing. A resolution authorizing the town supervisor to negotiate and enter into a 2-year agreement with design team of B&N Planning, Design and Architecture to assist the town with the development of a town center, park plan, and schematic design layout. Whereas on August 20th, 2018, the planning department solicited statements of qualifications through a request for qualifications from firms with urban design, planning, landscape architecture, engineering, and design service capability for the development of a town center park plan and schematic design layout. And whereas the town received submittals from 8 qualified firms in response to the RFQ, which were reviewed by a selection committee comprised of representatives from the Town Center Planning Committee and Town Center Park stakeholder group. And whereas the review committee members have recommended that the town retain the design team of B&N Planning and Design, a firm that has provided professional services to the town for several successful projects over the course of the past 20 plus years, submitted a statement of qualifications conforming to the town's RFQ. And whereas Planning Director John Scavo, with the town open space coordinator, has developed a scope of services schedule, work program in collaboration with the consultants. And whereas the planning director has reviewed the scope and schedule and fee estimates and finds these to be necessary and appropriate for the project. And whereas the town has collected and will be collecting fee payments in lieu of parkland that can be used to help offset the cost of this work in an eligible park development expense. And whereas the project will be conducted over a 12-month schedule with a not-to-exceed fee of $145,000, comprised of $135,000 for basic services with $10,000 reserved for reimbursable expenses and town authorized supplemental services. Now therefore be resolved that the supervisor is hereby authorized to sign an agreement with Bean Planning and Design reflecting the above terms, subject to review and approval by the town attorney of the agreement. A resolution authorizing the hiring of 2019 summer help for the town park districts and Barney Road Golf Course. Whereas opening exists for seasonal work in the Dwosco Park District and Barney Road Golf Course, and whereas Daniel Clements, Buildings and Grounds Superintendent, has recommended that the individuals listed in Schedule A be hired to fill the positions as noted. Now therefore be resolved that the individuals listed on Schedule A are hired for seasonal work in the park districts for buildings and grounds for the summer of 2019, effective immediately, to be paid per Schedule A. A resolution authorizing the hiring of summer staff for the Parks, Recreation, and Community Affairs Office. Whereas an additional staff member is required to staff the Office of Parks, Recreation, and Community Affairs during the summer months, and whereas Milo Kramer, Director of Parks, Recreation, and Community Affairs, has recommended that Jamie Ennis, Lennox Street, Clifton Park, be hired as a summer office staff member. Now therefore be resolved that the Director of Parks, Recreation, and Community Affairs is hereby authorized to hire Jamie Ennis as a member of the summer office staff effective March 25th, 2019 through August 2nd, 2019, at a grade 1, step 4, $16.50 per hour, to be paid from Parks and Recreation Administration. A resolution supporting eminent domain proceedings in the town of Half Moon for roadway improvements at Siddeley and Wooden Road. Whereas the towns of Clifton Park and Half Moon have committed to a joint project for road improvements at the intersection of Siddeley and Wooden Roads, and whereas the town board of the town of Half Moon has stated its intention to proceed with condemnation proceedings for a portion of the property known as Twin Lakes relative to the project. And whereas the town of Clifton Park finds that the takings are necessary for the joint road improvement project, now therefore be resolved that the town of Clifton Park fully supports the town of Half Moon and its endeavors. A resolution increasing general fund trips and tours senior center revenues and expenditures by $28,000 for a multi-day trip to Thousand Islands, Alexandria Bay, New York, May 31st through June 3rd, 2019. Whereas Clifton Park Senior Community Center has offered a multi-day trip tour to Thousand Islands, Alexandria Bay, New York, May 31st through June 3rd, and whereas the Senior Community Center will collect fees from participants for the 4-day, 3-night trip. Now therefore be resolved that the 2019 General Fund Trips and Tours Senior Center revenues is hereby increased by $28,000 and also expenditures by $28,000. A resolution authorizing the superintendent of highways to hire Zachary Tocco as a motor equipment operator in the highway department. Whereas after the retirement of Nelson Bruno, an opening exists in the highway department for a motor equipment operator, and whereas superintendent of highways Dan Ball has recommended the hiring of Zachary Tocco of Berkeley Port Waterford. And whereas Mr. Tocco brings over 5 years of experience in the field of construction, heavy equipment operation, and operation of large commercial trucks, has a Class A driver's license, while graduating with an associate's degree in heavy equipment operation from Alfred State College. Now therefore be resolved that the town board authorizes the hiring of Zachary Tocco as a motor equipment operator at grade 5, step 1, at a salary of $46,500 at a rate of $22.27 per hour, effective at a start date no earlier than Wednesday, February 20th, 2019, and be it further resolved that Mr. Tocco be paid at the above mentioned rate from the lines that listed are spring, summer, and fall, MEOs from line item 4, winter, MEOs for the remainder of the calendar year, and be it further resolved that the controller is authorized to transfer funds from the lines are listed, and funds will be transferred $40,000.86 with a transfer of $28,506 and $11,580, and the lines are all listed. And be further resolved that the town board allot 4 personal days and 8 vacation days for the 2019 calendar year. A resolution appointing Brian McClinchy and Art Bordeaux to the Historic Preservation Commission. Whereas pursuant to Section 20878C2 of the Town Code, members of the Historic Preservation Commission are appointed by and serve at the discretion of the Town Board. And whereas James Whalen, liaison to the Historic Preservation Commission, recommends that Brian McClinchy and Art Bordeaux be appointed to serve on the commission. Now therefore be resolved that Brian McClinchy, Delaware Court, Rexford, and Art Bordeaux, Bruno Road, Clifton Park are hereby appointed to the Historic Preservation Commission as members.
Very good. Thank you for that. Any questions on the resolution? All right, Pat, if you read the heading, then we'll consider each resolution individually.
Resolution number 49, 2019, a resolution awarding a Print Alliance 1.0 agreement for fulfillment of printer toner cartridges by National Business Technologies.
Second. Moved by Mrs. Standard, second by Mr. Whalen. Discussion. Okay, Pat.
Councilman Whalen?
Yes.
Councilman Standard?
Yes.
Councilman Romano?
Yes.
Councilman Holloway? Vice Barrett?
Yes.
Resolution number 50 of 2018. Oh, excuse me, 2019. A resolution authorizing the town supervisor to negotiate and enter into a 2-year agreement with the design team of BN Planning and Design and Architecture to assist the town with the development of a town center park plan and schematic design layout.
So moved. Moved by Mr. Romano, second by Ms. Wallowit. And I want to thank everybody that is on our Town Center Park Committee for their efforts. We've had several meetings, and we distributed an RFQ publicly for the comprehensive public planning process that we've been talking about. Well, actually, we've been talking about that before we purchased the property from the Shen School District. For folks that aren't sure, this is the property at Exit 9, 37 acres that we purchased from the Shen School District. So we had several people from the committee that scored the submissions, the 8 submissions that were brought forward. And based on that scoring, a winning company was selected, and that's B&N Associates along with Elon Associates. Most, if not all, of the submissions were joint. It wasn't, that might be a bad choice of words based on our recent discussion. I won't say joint. There was a collaborative effort where the submissions were 2 companies getting together, utilizing some expertise from a couple of different companies, in the hopes of strengthening their submission, which is a good idea. So in this case, Elon and B&N were the companies that teamed up for the submission that was selected by our scoring committee. So again, I do want to thank the folks on the committee. We'll now move forward. We'll soon have a schedule. We don't have any schedule yet. I know I'll be asked about this after the meeting. We don't have a schedule yet as far as when the meetings will be held, but we do want to move this process along quickly at this point. The comprehensive public planning process itself will be a lengthy process, so we do want to begin in the very near future. So we'll certainly get that information out publicly as soon as it's available. We want as much participation as possible from folks in our community, similar to other comprehensive public planning processes that we've completed in the past. So we hope for and expect a great deal of participation. We want your ideas, your opinions, and and that is all part of the process, and that's very important to us. So we want to provide every opportunity for that to occur. Okay. So took us a few months to get to this point, but I think the committee had a very good basis for making this decision, and this is the committee's recommendation to the town board. Any further discussion? Okay. Pat?
Councilman Whalen?
Yes.
Councilman Standby?
Yes.
Councilman Romano?
Yes.
Councilman Wallowit? Vice Barrett?
Yes.
Resolution number 51 of 2019. A resolution authorizing the hiring of 2019 summer help for the town, park districts, and Barney Road golf course. Second.
Moved by Mrs. Standard, second by Ms. Wallowit. Dan?
Yes,
How are we
Alex,
doing today?
Alex is going to be doing some work at Wasco Park District, which is up off of Bernini Drive, the main park there, assisting up there and doing some trimming. And over at the golf course, so we made some changes over there, looking towards the future. And Richard has some experience working at 2 different golf courses.
Good.
So I think he's going to fit in well over there, working with Fred and learn some of the tricks of that course and be a big help to us.
Very good. And we have hired several people for our seasonal buildings and grounds positions in the last couple of weeks. If any of you are looking for a job this summer, you can certainly apply to the town. We hire, I don't know, a couple hundred seasonal employees. You know, there's camp counselors, half day and full day. There's lifeguards. You know, all kinds of different opportunities for those of you that need a job this summer. So, all right. Any questions for Dan? Right, Pat?
Councilman Whalen?
Yes.
Councilman Standard? Yes. Councilman Romano?
Yes.
Councilman Marlwood? Yes. Supervisor Barrett?
Yes.
Resolution number 52, 2019, a resolution authorizing the hiring of summer staff for the Parks, Recreation, and Community Affairs Office. Second.
Moved by Mr. Whalen, second by Mrs. Standard. Myla?
Jamie came to us interested in the position. She's a resident. She's very well aware of our programs. Her children have gone through many of the camps, pool membership for the family. She has a really strong background in the customer service, administrative, clerical background. I think as far as the computer end of what we need in the office, I think it's going to be very little training. Customer service wise, I think she's going to be perfect working with residents coming in. It's starting to get busy now. You know, we have probably about 75 kids already registered for full day camp, and it's still February. So it's starting to get busy. We're looking forward to having her coming in. Great personality. I think residents are really going to enjoy working with her, and she's going to definitely be a huge asset to our department as we get into our very, very busy season.
Right. Yeah, we'll have over 200 kids a week that will attend our full-day camp. We're only limited by the space that we have available inside the ice arena. We take the ice out as we get into the spring, and there's a cement floor for those that haven't seen it, and that's the headquarters, if you will, for the full-day camp. So when there's inclement weather, they have shelter to take. So we're only limited by that space. If it was sunny and 70 every day, we could have a lot more kids in the camp. Wouldn't that be great? If this was San Diego, maybe we could have more kids. And then we have hundreds of kids that attend our half-day camps, and obviously we have many, many other programs. Everybody just received, hit the mailboxes already. Yeah, I did, because I got mine. Yeah, your summer recreational booklet, summer, spring. So all the programs are in there. If you didn't get one, or you lost it, or the dog ate it, you can see it online, or you can get a new one here at Town Hall at the Parks and Rec office. Okay? Very good. Any questions for Myla? Okay, Pat?
Councilman Whalen?
Yes.
Councilman Standard? Yes. Councilman Romano?
Yes.
Councilman Marlwood? Yes. Supervisor Barrett?
Yes.
Resolution number 53 of 2019, a resolution supporting eminent domain proceedings in the town of Acton for roadway improvements at Sidley and Wooden Road. Second.
Moved by Mr. Whalen, second by Ms. Wallowit. This is the joint project with Half Moon Sidley Road corridor improvements, which will occur this year. It's a project we've been working with Half Moon for the last few years. Half Moon passed a resolution to begin this process, I think it was 2 weeks ago. This resolution basically supports their effort because this is a joint project. This involves a very small amount of land out in front of Twin Lakes Apartments, and it's an area that would be used for enhanced pedestrian access with a sidewalk down Sidley Road. Something that I'm sure the people that live in Twin Lakes in that area, Deer Run Hollow, and that I'm sure they'd love to have a sidewalk where they could walk towards the crossings and meet up with that trail that'll take them into the crossings. Supervisor Tollison and I first met with the owners of Twin Lakes in 2016. So we were kind of hoping within 3 years we could get this settled, and it's not settled. So we certainly hope we don't have to take this step. We certainly never thought we would, but because it's been years that we've met, and even from the first meeting, the owners were very understanding and loved the project, loved the enhanced pedestrian access for their residents at Twin Lakes, and were very supportive. But like I said, that was 3 years ago. So we're at a point, we're at a juncture now where if we don't move, the project will be held up, and a lot of time, effort, money, working with our funding partners, because this is a grant-funded project. If we had to push it out another year, it's only going to add to the cost, and this is a simple sliver of property along Siddeley Road that, again, would be a great enhancement for the residents of Twin Lakes. So again, I hope we don't have to get to this point, but Half Moon has started the process just in case. An offer, a very fair offer, was made to purchase the property, because they will receive compensation through this process. Very fair offer was made. Those offers are not just numbers that Supervisor Tollison and I just pick out of the air. It's based on assessments and a fair process following all laws pertaining to eminent domain. So a fair price was offered, and I don't know if it's been accepted or not, to be honest with you. But and I honestly don't know what the holdup is, so I don't know what to tell you. We met with them 3 years ago. We figured it would be long done by now, and it isn't. So, any questions on that? Okay. Yeah, that's about all I know at this point, but we're moving ahead, and this project should not be held up for this reason. That is for darn sure. Okay, Pat?
Councilman Whalen?
Yes.
Councilman Standart?
Yes.
Councilman Romano?
Yes.
Councilman Walden? Yes. Supervisor Perry?
Yes.
Resolution number 54 of 2019, resolution increasing general fund trips and tours senior center revenues and expenditures by $28,000 for a multi-day trip to Thousand Islands, Alexandria Bay, New York, May 31st through June 3rd, 2019.
Moved by Ms. Wallowitz, second by Mr. Whalen. We've passed the 2-year mark since the town of Clifton Park assumed operational responsibility of the Clifton Park Senior Community Center, and we continue to add trips. They're very popular, and they sell out, so we'll continue to add them if that's what the members of the center want us to do. I do want to commend the staff at the center. We have monthly dinners, fellowship dinners, and they're extremely well attended. We can sell a little over 100 tickets for each event, and we've been able to sell out each one. And they're on a night during the week. We had a little different theme this time. We had a band, an orchestra. We had opportunity for people to dance. We had a chocolate fountain. We had a buffet. It was a little different atmosphere, so we try to change it up once in a while because we do have many of these throughout the year. So if you've never attended one of those dinners, check out the center newsletter, and that's where you can find out about the trips and the dinners and the classes and activities that are available to anybody that wants to partake. Okay? Okay, Pat.
Councilman Whalen?
Yes.
Councilman Standart? Yes. Councilman Romano?
Yes.
Councilman Walowitz? Supervisor Perry?
Yes.
Resolution number 55 of 2019, a resolution authorizing the superintendent of highways to hire Zachary Taco as a motor equipment operator in the highway department. So moved.
Second.
Moved by Mrs. Standart, second by Mr. Whalen. So, Mr. Taco is a Shen grad, lives locally, Tell us more about him, Mr. Bull.
Absolutely, it's Zach Toko, just to throw that out there.
Toko.
Before I go in with Zach here, I just wanted to say that the only reason we're hiring Zach is because we had a retirement in the office, or in the department. Nelson Bruno was with us for over 30 years.
Yeah.
Pretty much everybody who is there now was trained by him in some way, shape, or form. So we're very thankful for his years of service and for the teaching that he gave everybody that works there now.
Mm.
So, but he finally is now sleeping through snowstorms for the first time in 30 years, and he can snowmobile again. So that's good. We recently held several interviews and met with a few very good candidates for the replacement, this motor equipment operator, and we decided to go in the direction with Zach. Zach, like he said, is a Shen graduate, went to Alfred State and was certified in heavy equipment operation when he got his license as a Class A, and as our department grows and we take care of more roads and have more responsibilities, Class A driver's licenses is one of the things we're looking for. Helps us to not only manage heavy rental equipment, but manage carrying a lot of the equipment we have around town. So not carrying, but trailering, like throwing a bulldozer on your back or anything. He fit a lot of the boxes, answered many of the questions right, if not all of them. He did very well. We on the spot asked him after considering him, saying, hey, we also need people for winging, and he said, I'm in. I want to figure it out, see how it works. He joined right in, was there at 2:45 in the morning before anybody else got there. We did a very good job doing that. Worked with one of our other working supervisors, and they were impressed. So we're going to move forward and hire Zach.
Very good. And young man in his 20s, starting salary of $46,500. Great benefits. You're in the retirement system, and shows that if somebody decides not to go to college, there's many opportunities out there in the trades. There's shortages everywhere for drivers, for people in the trades, welders, HVAC, plumbers. We see that throughout, and it seems as though with more attention to that shortage and societal demographic change, really, there seems to be a little bit of a switch where there are more youngsters getting out of high school or college and getting into those industries, but you do need the necessary licenses, like Zach here as a Class A license. Well, that's a very valuable license. There's not a lot of Class A licensed drivers available to hire, so it is a very good start to what we believe will be a very long career. And you see somebody like Nelson, over 30 years. He started here when he was young.
Yeah, and he started here when he was at State.
Yeah, so he's got a nice retirement, and when he retired, and throughout the years, he made good money. And in the wintertime, you get a little overtime.
That's right.
Especially this one.
Yeah, especially January and February of this year, right?
And just to add, Zach came to the meeting tonight, so afterwards I'll introduce him to everybody.
Oh, where is he? Oh, stand up, Zach. Take a bow. Oh, we actually haven't voted yet, Zach, but so you're a Shen grad.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we have a lot of budding Shen grads here.
I see that tonight.
Yeah. Well, thanks for coming.
Yeah, definitely.
Appreciate it, and hope you're looking forward to working.
Yeah.
All right, good.
Thank you.
Well, you came to the right place then.
Thanks for proving me wrong. I told me didn't say anything.
Never promise that. Never promise that. Any questions for him? Or Zach, since he's here? Hey, Zach, why don't you come up to the podium now? Yeah.
Councilman Whalen?
Yes.
Councilman Standard? Councilman Romano?
Yes.
Councilman Ballwood? Vice Barrett?
Yes, you're good, Zach.
All right, thank you.
You got it.
Resolution number 56 of 2019, a resolution appointing Brian McGlinchey and Mark Bordeaux to the Historic Preservation Commission.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Whalen, second by Mrs. Standard. Mr. Whalen?
So we have some openings on the Historic Preservation Commission. Neither are strangers to the commission. Brian McGlinchey is a longtime volunteer and current treasurer of Friends of Grimm's Tavern. And Art Bordeaux received a Historic Preservation Award, I believe about 10 years ago, for the restoration of his house. So we're very happy to have them both join the commission. My understanding is that their wives will be joining us periodically as well. So this is a classic case of almost like a twofer, or in this case, 2 new members and four of new members. We commission originally lost Paul Stombach to retirement. We appreciate Paul's served many years of service to the commission. So we're happy at the end of the day here to wind up with more members than we had previously.
Well, that's good. Thank you for finding new members and cultivating that very important commission, active commission, and another of many volunteer opportunities available here at the town of Clifton Park. Okay, Pat?
Councilman Whalen?
Yes.
Councilman Standard?
Yes.
Councilman Romano?
Yes.
Councilman Ballwood? Yes. Vice Barrett?
Yes, any other business to come before the board this evening? Okay, seeing none, we'll go to public privilege. If you'd like to speak on a town matter, please raise your hand. We'll ask that you come forward. State your name and address for the record, and please keep it to 5 minutes or less. Yes, Zach, what would you, did he have his hand up? Anybody? Any of our high school students have anything they want to say or ask? Okay. All right.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Councilman Whalen?
Yes.
Councilman Standard? Yes. Councilman Romano?
Yes.
Councilman Ballwood? Yes. Vice Barrett?
Yes, thank you.